neighbors who sold me the property, the 70 acres, illegally, who are now going to court and have been trespassing and destroying my property, are doing what now, George?
Want to do more unlawful things.
Oh, like lie to see if I could get charged with a felony. On my own property?
And I'll make that thing $500. How much does it cost to make a felony?
That's not how
I will make it $500. Yeah.
Well, you can make $500 because it's not $500.
So what is it then?
Whatever I tell you, you're just going to say it's that much. So.
I can build it also.
Well, yeah, we can build it around
$500 last count I have.
Yeah, we can build an awesome memorial.
But what I'm saying is that if you were to build a memorial, I'd put it over there.
You hear another voice. Now that voice would be Mimi's father.
Ah, yes.
Frankie
yes,
Sr.
Yeah. So we've got Brian and Tina Hayley, who sold us property illegally, who have trespassed, who have literally made our life a nightmare.
Another set of bad neighbors from the start.
Levy County is not the place you want to move to. We've learned that the hard way. But it's been great for our business in regards to reselling so that we could get to all the major cities. Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Clearwater, St. Pete. But what you hear is Lieutenant MacIn actually not falling for the, we're going to try and make it, we're going to make it $500. I'll make it whatever it is. In other words, what they're claiming is I stole something from my own property. Now they're claiming it's their property, but they never cared before.
And they never had evidence. This whole time, they still don't have evidence. They've claimed that it's been Jeremy. They've claimed that it's been DJ Radis. They've been claiming that it's Travis. Well, which one is it? Where is the proof?
But now we have all the evidence that they trespassed and literally cemented posts into our property illegally on the county right-of-way.
Remember, they're the ones who called Levy County Sheriff to make the report and admitted that they're the ones who did it.
Can't wait to have this in court.
Well, no, we put that there so we knew where our thing was.
Well,
That's why we put it
but
there.
what I'm saying it didn't. Right, but what I'm saying is that it didn't seem to work this time because it's so close that it's not criminal, it's not civil, it's not. It's both.
And Frankie knows that. He knows that.
I don't.
That's how it is. Jeremy doesn't intentionally. So he hasn't intentionally done this to YouTubers. Yeah.
I've intentionally done what to YouTubers?
I don't know.
I don't even get it.
I don't understand the way her brain works.
The stupidity, the absolute stupidity. I have intentionally done this to YouTubers. So they're claiming all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that they want to put up a memorial on a piece of property, which they did not work with Levy County Sheriff when this individual, Frankie Jr., had an accident. They refused. Tina refused. Now, out of the blue, all of a sudden, when money is being grifted for a memorial, to come to find out, on our property, where I did give permission for the family to actually enter the property, now I've revoked that permission because all they've done is cause drama and problems.
And have associated with the bad neighbors.
Grifting.
Going from, I'm afraid
Scamming.
of them, to now they're on their property, hanging out with them, and being seen talking to them multiple times.
They want the money. They want the scam and the grift and the money. And they're not going to use it.
We don't want to be associated with any of that.
Not going to use our property and not going to use the death of an individual to actually do that. Denied!
I'm just telling you that it came from this way. I think I got his Martha coming this way at 9:48, and then the white car was. She said she was going by here at 12:48 in the morning. So that's what my camera does.
Who's the new runk we hear with camera footage of people going by?
That would be Crook, the guy who got arrested, put in jail for 40 days for brandishing a firearm at a visitor.
On our property right now, breaking a civil protection order. Oh, do you think he's standing in the road or is he standing on our property again?
I don't know. Did he have his tape measure out to measure 10 feet?
Was his leg wrapped up to his crotch? Did he have a walker?
Probably not.
Well, we know Brian couldn't measure any other way, even though he did send that message back in 2023 saying, oh man, that's all your land.
He never got a survey.
guess what? They're going back to court. Crook, Lynette, they have been found guilty. Contempt of court in Ohio. They have been charged with having to pay all of our attorney fees in Ohio, and they are going back yet again. And yes, their white ninja lawyer completely and totally abandoned
Quit
them
on them.
because nobody wants to be around that crazy.
Would you mind send me the picture you have of the memorial? Yeah. So I can have like a before and after.
Yeah, you got it. You got it?
You want to text it? Yeah, you can text it. That's fine. I'll give you my phone number when you're ready.
Can't stress this enough. This is not a memorial. This is not legally a memorial. Nothing has been filed with the state. Nothing has been done to make this a legal memorial. This was me saying, yeah, you can come on my property. That's it. This is not a memorial.
Right. It always has just been a ribbon that can just fly away with some twill, and hurricane season, it flies away because it's just a little ribbon.
Now, Fleesa, repulsive.
She is repulsive.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do all that. Just say that she's repulsive and people will get it.
I gag every time I think about her.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, she has claimed that over $4,000 has been raised for this memorial. You want to see the $4,000 memorial on my property?
Take a peek.
That look like $500 to you, George?
Definitely not 500.
Oh, but Tina will make it $500 for a felony conviction.
Well, Brian already said less than 100.
No,
Which one is it?
Tina's gonna make it $500, George.
With what money? They don't even have money to pay a surveyor.
Oh, that's true, but they are gonna have to pay us $250,000 back for the purchase of the property that Tina sold illegally with known encroachments.
You know, the bad sheep.
So all those family members, what'd they get? $45,000? What do you think Tina and Brian blew it on? It's
Definitely
coming
not a
back.
survey.
Nope, definitely not that.
Where else are we going? Because we put that fence up there. That's why you're doing that.
What's your number?
Let us know in every day just so I know the stock is what it's talking about.
10-4-10-80.
Oh, green card, that's the lifetime card. That's what I got to go
They're
in.
gray SUVs. I think it's a GMC in there.
No, she has the white card. Yeah. Well, the white cards are going back and forth. That collar come along. Yeah.
And what was your name, sir? Brian. Brian? Yeah, B-R-I-A-N. B-R-I-A-N.
Seems like a whole lot of slurring and mumbo jumbo there with old Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a lot. But another thing that's concerning, coming from someone who's supposed to be a supervisor with Levy County Sheriff.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I think that's the correct way to enunciate his last name. Well, anyways,
yeah.
why is his cruiser facing the opposite direction of where this alleged theft and vandalism happened?
You know, it's not that difficult to be an officer and to be recording and to know you have a dash camera and to try and be in the middle of the dash camera. And it seems to me that Levy County deputies want nothing but to not be on camera. Now, the only individuals that don't want to be on camera typically have something to hide. Why do their microphones go off? Like Deputy Duncan at Town Hall, who did nothing to protect George, and Lynette and Crook were just found guilty and fined and have to pay my legal fees for in the state of Ohio. And yet Levy County Sheriff has done nothing, particularly McIntyre has done nothing. And we're going to tell you why we feel like he's a McIntyre, because he is. Why wouldn't you point your camera towards what's happening, what's actually going on?
Where the action
And
is.
why do they mute their microphones?
Okay. I'm assuming husband and wife? Okay.
We were just assuming husband and husband.
All right. Sounds good. 761, lady. Can I have a 1099, please? 10-4, thank you. When was the last time that you saw the post there?
Yesterday is the first time.
Do you know by what time?
What time did we come by? We took a picture. After the flea market.
Yeah, it was like 4-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Crook taking pictures of my property when he has civil protection orders against him? He has 2 contempt court cases already with multiple infractions. He's going to court in Ohio again. His attorney has dropped him because he's so unhinged.
And here he is knowingly and willingly again violating the civil protection order by coming within 500 feet on a public road and then within 10 feet of each other's properties. He's nowhere near his property where this memorial is. He's within 500 feet.
Somewhere around there.
About
All right,
4
I'm on my way.
Okay, and then you noticed that they were gone, what, just before calling
I
us?
just noticed it when I just got home from work.
Okay, so just
I
before calling us?
didn't come this way this morning. I go out that way to go to Gainesville.
Right.
Because of that intersection, so I go on that way. I should have came up. I've been coming up this way to get the catch on it because I had a feeling
Right.
that he was going to do something.
Why did you have a feeling?
Oh, Brian has feelings now. Isn't that interesting? Like when he felt, I don't know, a little runk on strong drink and he was trespassing on my property with a chainsaw on my fence post. He has a strong feeling because he knows what he did was wrong, illegal, and he's going to court. You can hear Deputy McIn again and again go, well, this is so close to criminal versus civil. Oh, yeah, it's civil. It's going to civil court. We are taking action on 2 different things. Number 1, the 70 acres sold illegally. And number 2, everything that's going on with that property, which legally says I own half of their 1 acre.
Because we've had a lot of problems, a lot of issues with it.
Let's highlight some of those lot of problems and issues. First and foremost, we want a survey before we spend $250,000 on a piece of property. We'll refuse that survey.
Twice it was refused.
Nobody refuses a survey when you're selling a piece of property for that amount of money. Then we're sold the property with illegally known encroachments. Oh,
Not
that's an
1,
issue.
but 2.
Then we're told, oh yeah, we're going to get our stuff off your property. We'll get it, which it hasn't been gotten. We'll get it. I don't have to let them on my property. If it's left on the property, I legally own it. But I'm nice enough to do it. And when they don't do it, I eventually, months later, pay Travis to do it.
Because it was the neighborly thing to do.
When I actually pay almost $10,000 for a survey and they're encroaching, he gets runk, he comes trespasses, he chainsaws, he destroys property. Wait, there's another issue. Okay. Then when I try and tell him after he had every opportunity to purchase the church lot, but the former seller wouldn't touch it because he was already illegally growing the dandelion, the devil's dandelion on it. Yeah, on the lettuce, and had a trail straight to his house. Yeah, that seems like he has issues. Not because of anybody else, because of the issues he has created. Oh, that's right. We had the trail camera, the feeder up on our property illegally. Now we have posts cemented in the ground illegally.
Who's the
No
problem?
more. No more.
Who's the problem?
This ain't happening. No more. This is going to court. We're taking all the property that legally belongs to us, and that's it. Done deal. And I'm sorry about the 6 other kids, Tina's siblings. I hate her already. They're going to hate her even more.
Right. But you're saying this has been here for a while, right?
No, I just put this in about a week.
Just put in, but there have been 2 other monuments
last weekend.
You just put this in last weekend?
Yeah.
He hasn't worked on it because he put the surveillance sign on it. Whoever it is knows about these cameras. Yes, they do. They know exactly where these cameras are. Even when we put ours out, I think on the garage. With ours out, then when it disappeared, they started doing it again. So they know about the other cameras. But I think I'm more
Right.
That's what
I got the one on the corner. You can't quite see it.
And what are they getting?
I understand.
Besides just aggravating somebody. Yeah. That's all.
He lives.
He lives. You know, they got him on recording. Okay.
He does leave the property.
That he doesn't sue us to make money. He sues us to break us.
Yeah, he's
And
told
they
me
got
before
him, they got him on film saying that crap.
that I'd
And he
lose
showed that
everything
to
I
my
have.
face.
Help me make sense of this. So if you have on film me saying I sue to break people, then why in the world would you keep poking and messing with that person? If you're broken already and you have nothing, then why mess with that person?
Isn't that part of suing someone and taking them to court, doing it the legal way?
Well, that's the way we're supposed to do it.
It's not a
here.
game.
We do it the legal way. We don't go over with a chainsaw because we just drank a lot of strong drink and we go over to the
And
neighbors and
vandalize
start
property.
vandalizing and destroying property. Now, to be clear, Deuce has tried to use this clip of me talking in a live stream before there was ever even a court case, talking about what happens in court. And what I said is the end goal is to financially destroy you, to bankrupt you. Now, there was no court case. There's nothing at all. And yet they want to keep going back to that and go, oh, Jeremy's going to bankrupt us. Jeremy's going to destroy us. Jeremy's going to break us. First of all, I never said break anybody. And if that's what happens to you, that's the consequences from your own stupidity, your own actions. You want to poke a bear and poke a bear and poke a bear and poke a bear and poke a bear. And then you want to cry when that bear swipes with its big paw and claws. And then you're left bloodied and gored and broken. How stupid can you be?
It's not ideal.
I mean, he wants my property. He's pissed that I didn't sell it with the 71 acres.
Lie after lie after lie.
Did you hear that lie from Tina's Manley's voice?
Anybody ever recall me ever saying I want that piece of property, that 1 acre dump?
Never.
No.
Was that even a discussion. Never was it ever talked about selling her property with the 70
I've
acres.
never mentioned wanting it, ever buying it to them, to anybody, anyhow, anywhere.
Apparently the delusions are real with Tina as well.
Well, you know, the paranoid maybe, I mean, again, last night when I went home last night to the ranch property, which completely and totally engulfed with the devil's
Skunk.
lettuce.
The
skunk.
smell of skunk. And Brian
Constantly.
did tell Brian did say he has a medical card.
But he has to get the hair follicle test. Wait, if you have a medical card, why are you destroying my property with that smell? I don't want their property. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody would want their property. It's trash. I've spent 4+ years now cleaning up 70 acres that they trashed as well. I don't need another project right now in Otter Creek.
Sorry. I would like to retire and move out of here.
Now she wants to retire.
If you heard her correctly, she said, what I would love to do is retire and move out of here. Okay. You want the directions to Gainesville?
Maybe you can get him from Deuce. He's in Gainesville. He's still looking to try and find Gainesville. Oh, but she doesn't retire. She gets fired. Like she got fired from the Ark, the building that we are in currently, right now. These are horrible people. They're not good people at all. What are you waiting for?
Right.
What
Why
if you want to
retire?
retire and get out of here? Oh, you know who's never going to make an offer on that piece of property? Me. Ever.
Right.
You know,
It used to be nice.
it used to be nice. It wasn't nice. Everybody minded their own business. Everybody waved to everybody. Everybody was nice.
What'd she just say?
I thought I heard some more hypocrisy and contradictions coming out of Tina's lips.
Better than her hips. Ugh.
If everybody leaves each other alone, why would they intrude?
She stated that everybody leaves each other alone. But keep going. Okay.
Why if everybody leaves each other alone, why would you intrude on someone else's property when you trespass? And then not only that, put stakes and memorials,
Concrete.
illegally, when you haven't even gotten a survey legally done on your own property.
In the county right away. Oh, that's how everybody here leaves everybody alone? That's how it happens?
Did Brian leave us alone when he carved the pole into a finger?
Oh, so this is how it happens in Otter Creek.
Her definition of leaving others alone is a completely different definition to anyone that's normal and anyone that's reasonable.
Interesting how we've had absolutely no issues whatsoever at Hale's headquarters. Interesting how we've had no issues whatsoever in Cedar Key.
We had no
Everything
issues with our neighbors
Otter
here
Creek.
at the schoolhouse either. Everyone to the right leaves us alone. Everyone to the left leaves us alone.
We've good friends with the neighbors
We're
right across
cordial
the
with
street.
the neighbors across the street.
No problems, but
We get these help them too.
And the so this is just a 4x4, and
What was it, the 16, 14? That was a 12.
This was a 12-foot 4x4,
I've got my picture here.
and this is just a 6x6.
And we don't care
There's
about
actually a drop piece up in
So
it.
a 12-footer and a what?
This one was about 6 foot,
4x4 as well?
6x6,
6x6. 12-foot 4x4
and a 6 foot,
and a 6-foot 6x6. Okay. Approximate value for both?
Everything less than $100.
Right.
couldn't ask for anything better for court.
He's just
Literally
handing it over.
Here, let me tell you the dimensions.
Let me give you the dimensions.
Let me tell you how tall
and
it
the
was.
number of poles.
Let me tell. Oh, and by the way, and he goes less than $100. Now the next thing you're going to hear is, oh yeah, $400 in labor. I'm just curious. All this grifted money from the fleas, from the walruses, how much did get shifted over to them? And is that why all of a sudden they care when they didn't care about this individual that passed away previously? No, it's all about chasing the grift and the money and the scam and the con. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. But I love that they just hand deliver the evidence for court.
400.
I mean, we really don't care about that.
Right.
It's just the point of.
I know. It's just what I need for documenting.
I know, but it's just. But make sure you put that. We don't care about that. It's him creeping.
Yeah.
That's what we care about.
And we want to sign that.
I would love for you to be able to pull up on him and find it in his yard. God.
It'd be nice.
Anybody think a cop should be responding like that? Anybody? Anybody want to know why cops get bad raps? Why the media is not okay? Why individuals are not okay with? This is it. This is prime example.
This is just one of many examples that you're going to hear from this particular supervisor.
Oh, who was at Chiefland Police Department previously for how many years?
He's been a police officer. He's been on the force for 6 years.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's time for a new profession because this one ain't working out very well for him. No, he ain't got the qualifications.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's all her. I didn't even really want her to call.
I know.
I just think it needs to be reported.
No, you guys are fine, and I know it's a really frustrating situation. Trust me, because I've responded a couple times over here, and I know the situation down here. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jeremy's not going to like my last report that I wrote about the incident down here.
Let's see what MacIn Liar put in his report. But before we do, let's keep in mind, every time we've called Levy County Sheriff to report what Lynette and Crook have done, breaking the civil protection order, Ohio has found them guilty.
Levy County refuses to honor it and to take it serious.
Breaking both state law and federal law. So first, let's look at what actually happened. This is when Crook actually comes off the ladder, flicks me off. Okay? Oh, let's see what MacIn Liar has to say about that. But let's look at the incident first, and then we're going to get into his report.
But to add on to that, here we go. Unprofessional. Why is MacIn Liar sharing this with Brian and Tina? And they have nothing to do with this particular incident.
Now they do. Unfortunately, it's time to drive past these psychos. There's another gunshot. And did you hear the beeping of the gate? There's another gunshot. Now, off literally right over there is the hunting camp. And you heard the beeping of the gate, which carries, just like you can hear the gunshots next door, Crook and Lynette can hear the gate, and I have to drive by. I'll have to drive by again tonight to take care of the chickens. I've got George in a safer place. Neither of us feel safe now. The one thing we have to do, we have to pull the mirror in because the vehicle is so big. If the Levy County Sheriff don't have it on camera and if the mirror is blocking, then they say it didn't happen. I also have to put the windows down no matter what temperature is because if they don't hear it, and Crook keeps talking and so does Lynette. So here we go. Let's hope we're safe. Notice all the trash. Completely and totally trash. Hopefully we'll be safe. I know Lynette posted, oh, look at that, the Jeep. Crook's yelling. There you go. They got another crackhead living on the property too. See how he won't show his face right now? We already know who it is. So she posted that she's at the flea market this morning. She's obviously not at the flea market. There's Crook. You can see here Crook. Okay, so you heard him say, you see that? So he turned specifically to talk to me, and he called me the OCC, which he put this sign up right there. Nobody knows what it is yet, but this is another one he just breached. And this is why we have to film. He just breached the protection order yet again. You heard all the communication. That's why the windows go down. That's why the mirrors come in. These people are unhinged, psychotic. And the funniest part is she literally posted this morning that she was at the flea market. Well, we can see that's debunked. And another lie, she's not at the flea market. She's right there. Now the dude that's there, that's the dude that was stealing Winn-Dixie food and giving it to them illegally. He also, if it's the exact guy that I think it is, which I think it is, he also went to jail for rugs, and he's living on the property. Have we seen this story before? Constantly? Oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Oh, somebody else with rugs on the property. Non-stop. So what do? They have somebody else on the property because they are in such desperate need of any kind of shelter that they will go, well, you can stay here if you do this, this, and this. Psychotic. Yeah, he just broke the civil protection order again. To be clear, this is when Crook turns his back and double flicks me off. As a matter of fact, I call MacIn later and tell him I want it in the report, and you can see Crook right there.
Indirect communication.
Flicking me off. Now, all of this is going to Ohio. This is all going to be tried in Ohio, where they've been found guilty for everything we've reported here in Levy County. And what is Corporal, I've been calling him a lieutenant. You think he's even a lieutenant? Is Corporal higher or lower?
I don't know.
Well,
Either way, he's a supervisor.
Yeah. So Corporal MacIntyre, we get it right here. This is what he's saying. Oh, Jeremy's not going to like this. Well, let's figure it out. On January 19, 2025, at approximately 14:40 hours, I responded to the schoolhouse in reference to a violation injunction complaint. Upon arrival contact, I was made with the complainant, Jeremy Hales, who was actively videotaping our interaction. Why does he care?
So Jeremy wasn't the one videotaping.
Correct. Deanna was.
I
You
was.
were.
It
You
was
were.
me.
Yeah, we actually have this, and I told him this isn't going to be released. And now I think we should. Calm down. Who we get today?
Corporal MacIntyre.
I don't think we've met yet, have we?
I don't think so.
Well, my honor.
Nice to meet you.
All right. You don't shake?
No, I typically
All right.
don't.
So John Crook communicated again.
Okay.
So he's screaming, he's yelling. I'm filming from the moment I leave the ranch property, as I do every time I go by their place. He's screaming, he's yelling. You're going to see him turn his head, scream and yell at me. He's going to refer to a sign that he posted on his property. It says OCC, so Otter Creek Coward. And he's communicating to me, with me. Now, I already realize you guys are going to do absolutely nothing. And I'm very disappointed that that is the route that you guys continue to go. Ohio is going to do something. I want a report. I want you guys to go over there and investigate. So it's in the report. So when I go and file this in Ohio for violation again, that they go to jail. There's the video.
Okay.
Any questions?
This
You
is
can
mine to
keep
keep.
it.
Okay.
You going over there to?
Yeah, I'm gonna review this.
Okay.
I'll
And then I want to see that on the report. It's going to Ohio because you guys won't do anything.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'll let you out.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, all of the infractions, I haven't released them since I've gotten back. And I've recorded with Levy County Sheriff because they're so scared. What is the deal with them being so scared to come on our property? So the
We have
supervisors,
security cameras all over the place.
the supervisor before him refused to come out to the property. I literally had to tell him, this is your job. My taxes pay your salary just as everybody else out here. I don't care that you're scared of the cameras. Get out here and do your job, which then he did. For some reason, Levy County deputies, Levy County Sheriff Department are scared of our cameras. Why? If you're doing the right thing, there is nothing to fear. And they have no problem recording me, but somehow they have a problem if I record them, which she was recording. Deanna recorded the other one before that, which I still haven't released. Maybe we will now. Upon arrival, contact was made with complainant Jeremy Hales, who was actively videotaping our interaction. Jeremy Hales stated that he drove past the residence of Lynette Preston, and to which he observed the suspect, John Crook, standing in the yard. Jeremy stated that John yelled towards him while he drove by, which was a violation of the protection order out of Ohio. See protection order attached to this report. This is what we're supposed to have, facts. But facts are supposed to be true. Jeremy wasn't recording. George was.
I was.
All right. Jeremy stated that he had the entire incident recorded from his cell phone and that he had it downloaded onto a USB drive. Jeremy produced the USB drive and advised that I could depart the scene with it. Jeremy encouraged me to speak with John and thoroughly investigate the events that unfolded. I then left the area. So this was very brief. It was, listen, I know you don't want to be out here and be videotaped. Here's the information. This is what happened. And make sure you go investigate. Because what happens is they normally will not go and actually investigate and get the other side of the party, which they are supposed to actually investigate. They so often do not do their job. So he did leave the area.
It's pretty sad that you have to request it.
I literally have to say, you need to go investigate this.
Every time I've called to make a complaint of them violating the injunction, I've had to request them to go and interview the other party.
And I'm curious if McIntyre would have treated George the exact same way as he did me in this report. Let's keep going on. Upon a review of the video footage, I witnessed Jeremy exiting his property at the gates located at the ranch property, which enter onto the roadway of North Otter Creek Avenue. Jeremy then drives past Lynette's residence and observes John Crook standing in the yard. On video, John could be heard yelling, "Hide the child!" repeatedly in parentheses, and OCC, which we all know means Otter Creek Creeper, right? Or Otter Creek.
He's trying to say it stands for Orange County.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't. She's giving spoiler alerts.
You've already mentioned it.
All right, so we've all heard what Crook was saying there in the video. During the time, another individual, later identified being Andrew Campbell, who's gone to jail how many times for rugs?
Not once, but twice.
Okay, and then just went to jail for assaulting his own father, was arrested at Turd Purgatory. Okay, so later identified as being Andrew Campbell, can be seen on a ladder, apparently working on hanging something upon a tree in the yard. After fully passing the residence, the video shows Jeremy proceeding back towards the entrance of his property located at the schoolhouse. After reviewing, and by the way, this is the only thing they're supposed to do, is actually give facts in the narrative. After reviewing the video evidence, I went to Lynette's residence to further my investigation. Once there, I was made contact with Crook. Crook stated that he was not speaking to Jeremy during the interaction. Oh, really? You think a judge in Ohio is going to say that wasn't communication? Everybody knows that was communication. And he was yelling, "Hide the child!" because Jeremy has been attempting to film their small child on the property. Can we get more of a bogus narrative right now? Now, safety, that child needs to be saved. There's absolutely no doubt.
There's always been a concern for the child's safety. Have we ever filmed her? No.
Nope.
Have we ever released footage of her on the video? Nope.
Does Lynette have other YouTubers come in and film her? Yep. Okay. He advised that he was yelling to Lynette to put the child in the residence in order to avoid having her caught on video. What are they trying to hide, these freaks?
Well, they have their fence and they have their tarp fence. Why would he need to scream?
Oh, and those banners that are supposed to hide every... Oh, but hold a second. Didn't Lynette just post... I'm almost positive Lynette just posted something like, "I will stand on my innocence. I have nothing to hide." Why is everything being hidden then behind
Why dodge
metal,
a deposition?
tin, depot dodging, banners, sheets flapping in the wind? All right, so let's keep going on. hide the child, because Jeremy was attempting to film their small child on the property. He advised he was yelling to Lynette to put the child in the residence in order to having her caught on video. When asked what OCC meant, John stated that it stands for Orange County Choppers because he's a fan of their work.
What does that have to do with
Yeah.
hiding the child?
Yeah. Curious, what does that have to do? Hide the child, OCC, hide the child, Orange County Choppers, hide the child, Orange County Choppers, hide the child. I love Orange County Choppers, hide the child.
Do you think Crook is trying to outsmart the judge?
You think McIntyre has a brain? Okay. You think the judge is going to see right through this? I then spoke to Andrew, who advised that John never attempted to speak to or towards Jeremy during the incident. Andrew and John stated that they were hanging a large canvas in the yard in order to keep their lives as private as possible from Jeremy's relentless videotaping of their property. I then departed the scene. Wait, so Andrew is admitting here in this narrative, the incident report, that he's living on the property, because Andrew and John said they were hanging the canvas to keep their lives. John's life, Andrew's life. This is just one more rug addict around this child that should never be there. Ever. Ever. All right, so now let's go into McIntyre's narrative, which is complete and total bogus. And yes, we've already had a meeting with a supervisor, one supervisor, and we'll keep going on with this. Later, I had another opportunity to review the video footage from the incident. Jeremy stated that at the opening of the video, unfortunately, it's time to drive past these psychos. Yeah, you heard it. And guess what else I said? She posted that morning they were at the flea market. Oh, and you also know that she posts that I go down the road 75 miles per hour. They put up signs illegally on a post in the county right away. Slow, child. She's also stated that I'm going to hit her child because I know her child's a runner. And everything else these fools have stated. So if I go too fast, I'm at fault. If I go too slow, I'm at fault. Let's see.
Well, in addition to us filming, one of the neighbors saw that Crook started shooting at a vehicle that looked like mine while I was in Ohio. Another Jeep drove by and
Gail, across the street.
to try and
Shared
intimidate
with
this
us.
Jeep. Yeah. So that's where the recording all started.
Jeremy stated at the video, unfortunately, it's time to drive past these psychos. However, there's an alternative route that Jeremy could travel. Oh, you mean the route where a couple just died? How many weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay.
And then another fatality within the last 6 to 8 months.
So McIntyre thinks that I should actually alter my entire life because of John and Lynette having civil protection orders against them. They're not against
You.
us.
And on top of that, he even puts in his report that you were on your way to the schoolhouse.
They are to leave us 100% completely and totally alone. I don't have to alter my route. I shouldn't have to have an officer put in a narrative that I should alter my route. Wrong. Their life changes. Mine is supposed to stay the same. They're guilty. I'm innocent. And yet, here we have McIntyre trying to treat me like I'm some kind of monster. He could have traveled, which would avoid Lynette's residence completely, northbound on North Outer Creek Avenue towards US 19.
What would their excuse be if that was a dead-end road?
Oh, well, I'm sure they would come up with something else. Oh,
Because
because I'm safer going out there, right? So I'm safer going out there with all of that massive amount of travel and trucks and deaths that happen around the corner versus two runks and rug addicts who can't even point and hold a firearm straight. No, I think I'm going to take my chances with the route I'm going because I'm not guilty. They are. Okay. So let's keep going on. Jeremy's Ohio Protection Order states the court finds that a preponderance of evidence that respondent has knowingly engaged in a pattern of conduct that caused petitioner to believe that respondent will cause physical harm or has caused mental distress. And the following orders are equitable, fair, and necessary to protect the persons named in this order from stalking offenses. Being that Jeremy is apparently in fear that John Crook could possibly cause harm or mental distress, it's peculiar why he would knowingly drive the most direct route towards their residence. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it's my residence, I've been stalked here, and I'm going to another piece of property that I own. Is this professionalism? I wonder why Levy County Sheriff Department has to hire so often when it's a revolving door. McIntyre shouldn't even be in this McIntyre better get a new job. So ridiculously unprofessional.
Well, he's already jumped from one department.
It's particular that he would knowingly drive the most direct route. What should I do? Trespass through Brian and Tina's? What should I do? Cut through the woods? What should I do? Oh, genius McIntyre? McIntyre? Instead of seeking an alternative direction to avoid them entirely. Yeah, let me put my life even in further danger. Fool. Complete and total fool. Additionally, in the video, Jeremy can be seen driving his vehicle at a very slow pace past the residence. How many slow children signs did they put up because of me, stating that I drive back by 75 miles per hour?
Not one, but two.
Illegally posted in the county right away. So I drive too fast, there's something wrong. I drive too slow, now McIntyre says there's something wrong. His vehicle at a very slow pace past the residence. It does not appear as though he's traveling at a common pace and seems as though he's deliberately searching for a reaction from John or other residents on the property. Interesting, because I said absolutely nothing to these fools. I want them to leave me alone. And yet, I'm driving the most direct route, the route that I don't have to change because I'm not guilty, they are. Oh, by the way, your supervisor is aware of all this, McIntyre, and I'm sure you're watching this right now as well. He says, additionally in the video, Jeremy can be seen driving his vehicle at a very slow pace past the residence. It does not appear as though he's traveling at a common pace. It seems as though he's deliberately trying to get a reaction. I don't have to try and get a reaction. They never shut up. If they would just shut up and stop. They should have stopped at the cease and desist. I don't have to get a reaction. They just never, ever stop. And Ohio has found them guilty on all of this. Oh, by the way, McIntyre, Ohio's going to find them guilty on this too. Jeremy stopped his vehicle in the roadway to offer a brief narrative during the video that he's recording. You mean the one where there is another rug addict on the property endangering a child? You mean that one that you did nothing about? Literally nothing about.
But he's here to protect and serve, according to him.
And once the vehicle begins moving again, the distance traveled from the edge of Lynette's southern property border is approximately 511 feet. Jeremy drives the distance in a time frame of approximately 95 seconds using the basic formula for... Oh, now McIntyre knows math. I want to be very clear. I respect our officers. I do not respect McIntyre at all. Now he thinks he knows math. Now I can tell you how fast I was going. Jeremy stops his vehicle using the distance versus time. I found that once Jeremy averaged a speed of 5.3789 feet per second. So I was going 5 miles per hour. Oh, is that slow enough? On North Otter Creek Avenue when they said I speed going by 75 miles per hour? Or approximately, I'm sorry, that was feet per second. Now he says I was going 3.667 miles per hour. Oh, well, there's a genius right there. I can tell you that my truck doesn't even idle under 10 miles per hour. Okay, let's keep going. Alternatively, once Jeremy passes the property line, he speeds up to proceed towards his schoolhouse property. During the span of 632 feet, he covered the distance in 27 seconds, which is 23.404 feet per second, or 15.959 miles per hour. He's now saying I'm going 15 miles per hour to get to the schoolhouse. I'll be the first to tell you, I break the speed limit every time I get on 24. Every time. The speed limit is 35.
It starts at 35, then it jumps to 40.
I break it every single time. Now you're going, Jeremy, they're coming for you. Well, they have to catch you. So this is ridiculous. I've never gone as slow as 15 miles per hour on State Route 24. So his math ain't mathin'. Okay, let's keep going on.
So his prior math is not accurate either.
So Jeremy is allegedly in fear that physical harm or mental distress may come as a result of his interactions with John or Lynette. I didn't have any interaction. They did. I found it odd that he would intentionally slow his driving speed while driving in front of the property. I find it odd that any corporal would make any statements like this when they are just supposed to report the facts. Mm-hmm. This is completely and totally unprofessional. They're treating the victim, and this is all Levy County Sheriff's Department. We have not seen anybody not treat us like this, treating us as victims. When we have been found not guilty, they have been found guilty. You want to talk about bigotry, racism, and the list goes on and on, North versus South, that there's something seriously, seriously wrong in this county. And that department cannot be trusted. MacIn cannot be trusted. And he's proven it right here.
There's been a handful that have been neutral and professional and have done what they were hired to do. He's not one of them.
During the recording, it was witnessed that Jeremy was raising his recording device above his head or roof outside his vehicle. Any of you guys see that? Anybody? No, what you see is what I do is put my arm on my windshield and then I hold my filming stick. The same thing we film with, the same thing we're literally filming right now.
On the side of the window.
Correct.
On the
side of the
passenger window.
Yes, I said that incorrectly on the windshield. So on the window, what would you call it? Windowsill, window edge. The window goes down. I even explain. I'm going, this is why I have to do this. Because Levy County Sheriff won't do anything. And what do we find? This is what we find from Levy County Sheriff. Pretty pathetic. Pretty pathetic. So at no point do you see the camera going up, and you would be able to tell based on the shot. My arm is stationary, holding the camera like this the entire time. Same as when we film like we're filming right now. We're filming right now on the same filming stick. That's what we film with. We use it. It's one of the tools of our trade. We're going to use it. Should we say something about McIntyre and his camera? Maybe it should be mounted above his car. Maybe it should be pointed towards the people that he's interacting with instead of trying to hide everything. So it was witnessed by who? Please, MacIn, tell me, by who? Who witnessed me raising it so high?
Why wasn't that attached to this bias report?
Lynette owns approximately 6 foot tall privacy fence, which she uses to shield her property from view of the public. Jeremy was witnessed intentionally trying to see over it. I can see over it. How's there any intention? You think I want to see these freaks? You think I wanted to be stalked to Otter Creek? You think I want them across the street from me? You think I want neighbors posting and cementing things in my property and trespassing and destroying my property? The foolishness, the stupidity. This is bad police work. This is a bad cop that should not be in a position by any stretch of the imagination. And yes, his name is MacIntyre, and we're calling him MacIn. There was nobody witnessed me raise any camera, nor do you see it in the camera. Jeremy was witnessed intentionally trying to see over it. It's just there. Everybody can see over it. If you're in my truck, you can see it. I can see over it now, even though they put tin, and I still film every single time I go by. So is it intentionally me trying to see over it as I film even yet, 2, 3 times today? Or is it for my protection and accountability? Because of bad cops like this. The insanity. The complete and total insanity of this place. All right, let's keep going. He's trying to see over it in order to garner a reaction from the inhabitants and witness elements within the property that were not easily witnessed from a person of the public of the roadway. Oh, except they actually are. Anybody can see at any time in my truck. Jeremy called back sometime later to state that he had reviewed the video footage himself, and he spoke to me and noticed that John had double middle fingered him as he drove by, which he absolutely did, and he's going to be found guilty in Ohio for it. He advised me he wanted it documented in my report and that it was a violation of the protection order due to a form of communication with him. Listen, the only reason why we called this fool is to get it documented. It's going to Ohio. And as a matter of fact, if I even showed you the interaction with this fool, MacIn, this is the only thing I even say to him. Just report it so it can go to Ohio. Ohio will deal with it. You guys keep ignoring it. And this is what he does. Oh, boy. Okay. And it was a violation. Upon initial review of the video, I did witness John had reached behind his back during the incident that was recorded. However, no discernible hand gestures could be recognized due to poor quality of the video. Listen, we've already posted memes of this. I'll post it at the very end of this. You're going to see exactly what he did, and so is the judge in Ohio. And he's going to be found guilty. He's going to be held in contempt again, and hopefully this time around they're actually going to arrest. At first glance, I believe John was simply just adjusting his shirt while he was working. Really? Because at first glance, you said I was slowing down at 3 miles per hour. You didn't see him adjusting his shirt, did you, MacIn? You didn't see him at all adjusting his shirt. You had plenty of time to see it. You actually did the math that didn't math whatsoever. So I believe he was just adjusting his shirt. The speed and the manner of the movement did not indicate to me that any type of vulgar gesture was being displayed. It's a lie. And he's going to be found guilty in Ohio. Upon speaking with John again later, he advised that he was stretching his back from the work he was performing. He stated that he was placed both hands behind the lower portion of his back and stretched his backwards. And upon my first interaction with John earlier, I did notice he was visibly sweaty, noticeably tired. That's called the sweats. He's a runk and a rug addict.
Did he document how smelly he was?
Yeah, that would have been nice. Why isn't the smell in here? Mm-hmm. Upon my first interaction, I noticed how sweaty, noticeably tired from working in the yard. During this type of manual labor, it's commonly for individuals to stretch their backs in a fashion described. Really, it's common to individuals to stretch their back, flicking you off with 2 middle fingers. That's common. Interesting. Maybe here in Levy County, not the rest of the world. There's something so messed up with this place.
How would he know that John was working in the yard? Was he there to witness that?
George, I was driving by 3 miles per hour. He had all day to witness it. Remember when they posted, they were actually at the flea market, but not there, were they? All right, let's keep going on. During this type of manual labor, it's common for individuals to stretch their backs in the fashion described by John. Attached to this report is a zoomed-in image gesture in which Jeremy is referring to. Yep, 2 middle fingers up. By the way, again, I'm going to put mine in. You'll see it much clearer. Based upon Jeremy's statements, the video provided, and testimony of the subjects located at Turd Purgatory, I have found no probable cause to believe a violation of the Ohio Protection Order has taken place. Isn't that funny? McIntyre says no probable cause, but it's going to court in Ohio and they're going to be found guilty in contempt. Every single thing these deputies have done nothing about, Ohio has found them guilty. Guilty. Levy County Sheriff Department continues to break state law, that's federal law, Florida law and federal law. Can you imagine the liability this department has right now? They are going to be sued. Do you imagine the liability McIntyre continues to place upon this department? I mean, this is insanity. Complete and total insanity. From all appearances, it seems as though Jeremy is trying to elicit a response from the parties involved and is intentionally provoking them. Why? Because I drove from my home to my work? That's how I provoke them, by driving. Where I own more road frontage than anybody else here in Otter Creek on North Otter Creek Avenue. Where I have to daily fear for my life, where my property that I wanted to build a dream house on is now up for sale. I can't even enjoy my property anymore because of these unhinged, insane neighbors and sheriff deputies. It's intentionally provoking them into possibly committing some type of violation. Jeremy does not seem to be in fear, physically or attack, or any mental anguish as a result of being in proximity of the subjects. From all evidence collected, Jeremy appears to be purposely injecting himself into the lives of other individuals. That's called stalking, and that's what they did to us here.
She's obviously not at the flea market.